Hello, my name is Isaac Uten, and I would like to tell you about several different applications of calculus that are used in my field of work and study. I work as an electrical designer for an engineering firm and an architectural designer for an architectural firm. I have an associate's degree, and I am planning on obtaining my bachelor in science degree in electrical engineering, and then on to my professional engineering license. In these fields, we use calculus quite often, albeit mostly integrated with programs. I have three examples of how we use calculus in my line of work and study. These examples are optimization, time current studies, and problem solving. First, we optimize in many different ways. We may need to design a beam supporting a large structure and make that beam as cost effective as possible for the client, while still maintaining the load requirements to support that structure. Or we may want to maximize the electrical load in a building on circuits to minimize the amount of circuits used and the runs of wire. By doing this, we not only would save on the amount of copper wire being used, which is very expensive, but also it may allow us to design for smaller switchgear, protective devices such as panels and disconnects that would ultimately save the client a substantial amount of money. Second, calculus is used to study time current and how changing settings in a circuit will allow for different values being produced for a circuit that will allow for an efficient circuit with minimal error factor and will even allow for us to evaluate the circuit's operating conditions and avoid currents that can cause permanent irreversible damage, a shortened lifespan, and possible catastrophic failure or possibly prevent an arc flash hazard. An arc flash hazard is an extremely dangerous condition that can cause serious injury or death to anyone working on that circuit. Lastly, calculus is a vessel for learning critical thinking, and we use that in both architecture and engineering every day. There is not a day that goes by in my field that a problem doesn't arise that needs to be solved. Calculus has been and is helpful in training my brain to solve these critical problems. You will realize as you go through calculus that you will find different routes on how to solve a problem. Many times there are two or more ways to arrive at a final solution. This is always the case in engineering and architecture. In conclusion, these are just a few of the applications of calculus in my field, but there are many more. Most of the applications work in the background through programs or other applications, or just help to enlighten you on how to solve problems. But all of the applications are extremely important to my field of work and study, and engineering as a whole. Engineering fields such as structural engineering, mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, and many, many more fields. So with that being said, tip my hats to the founders of calculus, Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz, for if it was not for their inquisitive nature and quest for solving the great problems of the time, we might not have calculus as we know it, and that could make engineering and architectural design very difficult.